What's up, Wobblies? Wobbly Rick here. Sleeping at you live. Dr. Super Sleepy Times. It's a smoothie video.
Man, I need to win this race to get another PC. Yo, they're so fast! Bro, I gotta take some Compound V. Bro, I can't stop! Bro, I can't... I'm sorry. Man, I need to win this race to get another PC. Yo, they're so fast! Bro, I gotta take some Compound V. Bro, I can't stop! Bro, I can't... I'm sorry. Man, I need to win...
Hawacha. Yeah, sorry guys, I wasn't paying attention. I got distracted a little bit. Is that it? Wrong capture. Oh.
Kevin, could you give me the 3/8 from my toolbox?
Mild.
Kevin, hurry up in there. Don't keep me waiting, pal. Just grab the 3/8. Kevin! The 3/8! Thanks, pal.
Okay, let me reconfigure this again so that way it actually selects the correct program window.
Kevin,
Okay.
could you give me the fire extinguisher? You found it yet, Kev? Hurry up in there! Kevin, the fire extinguisher!
Call.
Kevin?
Assembling body. Activating sessions. Uploading business. Unfinished business detected. Terminating body.
Dad, you can't keep putting this on. You're doing an intervention with us. Then we're sticking Poopy Butthole downstairs with you. And you have to help them on your own. And not with the ghosts.
Lucky I built this whenever it was still cheap to build. We were honest with you guys. P5X, definitely a good SMG.
Assembling body.
Definitely a good trade-off. Cheap ammunition, high DPS, it works. These guys got the infinite crossbow. I have a war carbine and a wrath cannon. Fortunately for me, because I know actually Neil Yates in the real world is a little bit difficult for me. But I'm not saying that I got it for cheap. I actually did have to spend a shit ton of money, but this was definitely the most enjoyable purchase I'd ever made. I played this game for like nearly 31 days straight. Grinding for an entire month. I think I grinded away like 40 levels in a month. My sausage gune, Takoyama. Oh, banzai, sausage mon. Now keep in mind, I do not have any of the special perks like gold membership. Yeah, man, start a problem so that way I have to clean up your mess as I make my escape. That's the one thing I do hate about it, though. People will start an issue like a block or two down, and then it ends up becoming a problem. I don't know what's going on here. This is the second time seeing it clear the block thing. Loot whatever this is, if we haven't got it. I'm gonna do my job. I don't know what this is. This says to eliminate 2,280. I guess I can. I mean, I got the time, so I might as well do it. I think it's like one of those daily objective thingies. However, these green guys seem to be glowing pretty heavily. They're called rumblers or something. Ramblers or rumblers? Oh, that's interesting. I haven't seen one of those in a while. Back off, you freaking savages. Back off, savage. Savages, you know nothing of art. Back off, you bunch of savages. Raj, chill out, or they'll rip off our socks and feed them to the jackal. Wobbly. I have no idea how many losers I've erased. It says 1,200 so far. And I'm getting no loot spots because of junk. What kind of block is this? What the hell? Ooh, down! Take them down. There's some bad cockroaches in this neighborhood. Damn schools, man. I'm wobbly. And my Gatling cannon. Hear me roar. Fucking drop that. Back up. Back up, you crazed savages. You'll never have me Krabby Patty formula. Nah, I did used to play SpongeBob Adventures in the Jam, but due to the fact that we need Facebook to actually save any real progress, that's a deal breaker. I didn't spend no money on it. I've spent some money before on SpongeBob. Another one of these losers? How many of these losers are there? Take them down, these rabid animals. Kill them all. I don't care what end zone you came from. If you're from the wasteland, get lost. Wastelanders got no business here. This is Wobbly Town. So many goddamn wastelanders. They ruined everything. They screwed up my peach embargo. wobbly. And I am killing every wastelander possible. Probably here destroying them all. Get lost, you wastelander. You heard me. It is I, the great and magnificent Wobbly. And you wastelanders need to get out of here. Spyro isn't here. Just because you guys are part of Spyro's universe doesn't mean he's here. I'm telling you, Spyro checked out 9 months ago. Yes, I did bail out of there because I needed to reload and because it was getting a little too hairy for Wobbly's, you know, taste. There's got some wastelanders in here too. What the hell are they doing in here? Goddamn Oompa Loompas. Seriously though, I was not expecting that amount of, you know, craziness. See if I can find some free meds so I don't have to use what I have on hand. Man, none of these loot spots work. They're all busted.
Take your busted ass Kart. Get the hell out of here. It's called Mario Kart for a reason. It's called Mario Kart for a reason. Yeah. It's called Mario Kart. You know, the racing game on the Nintendo 64. You know, welcome to Mario Kart.
Hello there. I'm your next door neighbor. You guys have been making a lot of rumbling noises down here and groaning, and I'm getting tired of it. So I came here to solve the problem by busting some caps in your ass. Yeah. I'm gonna rob their house. These guys had thousands. Oh man. Burglary. Burglary tastes so great. Oh, these guys had quite a bit of 50 cal ammo just laying around. Man, you guys must have been loaded. Must have been an M82A3 in here somewheres. Or some other kind of 50 caliber Browning machine gun using ammunition weapon. Keep in mind, 12.7 is the definition of the M2 Browning 50 cal. Now, you got 50 cal or 50 AE, also known as Action Express. That's a different type of 50 cal ammo, for those of you who are unaware. Action Express is much smaller, but almost as fat as the real deal. Do. These guys had a bit of bread on hand, but not really anything else. Okay, we cleaned up. This place has been sectioned off, meaning there's nothing up here. But I might as well take advantage of it. Oh cool, I found a night patch. Maybe I could put it on my butthole so that way it keeps it safe. That's a joke, by the way, for those of you who don't know. Eye patches don't go there. They don't go on your butt. I want to keep it safe in case the toilet decides to attack me later. Man, this MP5X. Chef's kiss, literally. I'm glad I built it. I got rid of my X-AK-47 because it had no stats that were viably useful. But recently the X-AK-47 received a stat buff, putting it up there at nearly $10 million. So if you find the blueprints and experimental AK-47 parts, you should keep them and just buy an AK-47 and craft the weapon yourself. Then flip it on the market for some major profit. The X-AK-47 is actually a pretty helpful, profitable subject. When I say profitable, I mean profitable. I have absolutely no regrets whenever I actually had one. but I sold it in order to get some more implant chips. And then I crafted a second one and a third one, which roughly put my net revenue in this game around like 20 mil after crafting it. And then there was a point in time where there were only like 200k, where people started, you know, skimping on by and taking them away from general public access. And you guys lost out on savings when they were going to like 250k. Worth too much because originally they didn't have that buff stat that they have on it, PvE armor penetration values, which make the AK-47 probably one of the most versatile machine guns at a cheap price for cheap ammunition. I'll even say that because of its price margin, that it genuinely is worth the price. About 250k. It'll be about the general stock price for that weapon. That's because crafting it costs so much now, and not as much as it used to. The general statistical price margin for that weapon is a lot more expensive since the game has changed. I'm literally going to have more stat boosts. I originally took off to go do the mission, which is something to save our brethren from some jackdaw stuff like that. I had to eat whatever meds I had packed up yesterday. Well, I guess this morning, because I was awake this morning for a little while, grinding away.
Come on, man.
Back on. Back on. I swear to God. I'll rob you for them shoes you're wearing, homie. They're going to end up right over there on the free market. Up on the free side. Back off. He's too close for comfort. Whoever these guys are, they definitely are helpful. I'm only getting bread. Not sure who they are. Up in the southeast end zone. I'd have to come back. Spade lag! Spade lag! dude's like on Mastercraft Reload over here with that. I don't know what kind of event this is. But definitely seems a little out of the ordinary. He's clearly got an MG42. The other dude really has some ridiculous rapid fire grenade launcher. Could be the Mark 15. Sometimes he's a little slow to reload. Roughly 900 of them eliminated. Bastard. Man, bro. Man, cheat that XP off. We can fire as many rounds as possible, homie. Not sure how long this armor is going to last. Currently got the highest damage absorption in the game for me, at least. I have cost me a ridiculous number of credits, which costs an incredible amount of money to get. But I'll try to hold on as long as I can possible. No guarantees for a wobbly over here. Some armor can probably take another blow, but I'm not sure how many of them it can take. Literally gotta be careful. I want to stay within some function. And I know there's such thing as the X Mark 19 required a certain level to unlock that recipe. That recipe unlocked. It's guaranteed to be better. There are only some weapons in the southeastern end zone. Yes, doesn't require gold membership, but will become harder to find without it. Fog is gone, so that's good. No weird haze. This for a little bit for the remaining XP. So I got a free level up, 3 health build, 3 health. And 2 points. Of course that means the window will close temporarily, just a few minutes, while I repair. Will likely see nothing during this time. Keep that in mind. these guys really enjoyed their time. Looks like I managed to complete my objective. Pretty sure if I go in and out of wherever those guys are standing at, they'll probably shut it off and then open it back up or whatever. Let's grab some ammunition. Not sure if you get into these buildings. Like little storage depots. Nope. This building still doesn't have an interior or an accessible port, even though it technically is a government-owned building or something like that. Hey, what's up, Siren Girl? Why don't you summon me up some Zeds? Can't hurt her, she's gonna get me my rest of my XP. Where are they, sweetie? I know you know where they're at. Where they at? Bring me more. Keep screaming. Come on, draw them out. Oh, like somebody else who needs the objective completed also showed up. And out go the zombies. The wobblies, all you can do is breakfast down here. Whatever it is, go bust the caps in. Well, we'll lose some HP. Whatever else I can scrimp up and sell. Oh, PCB. That's 20 grand right there. Just making some rebate. If I get a full tank of gas or whatever, that's 30K on the spot. Pay a lot in order to have gasoline for their flamethrowers. It's a pretty ludicrous market when you really break it down. I would say lucrative, but it's not lucrative, it's more ludicrous thing. It's kind of ridiculous the price you pay for certain types of ammunition. Ooh. Looks like I finally got my wish for the Argo. Grind away these losers to dust. Nope, I'm gonna stay here and grind the rest of the XP. That and because they're not gonna leave me alone if I don't get rid of them. But you gotta go into the next block, doesn't mean you're gonna disappear or lose interest in it. Actually, I'd have to leave this block. Otherwise, if I jump on the side, I might land because I might bring more on myself. some XP into my SMGs. I'll reduce the sound too that I'm making. Instead of using that massive minigun to handle all my issues. I just use the MP5. So I can reduce the amount of damage. Blaring a minigun throughout every block might not be a good idea. Unless you're trying to complete like mission controllers. By the way, if you like the game Dead Frontier and stuff like that, you can register a free account or whatever. This game doesn't require a lot of PC processing power, and it's pretty good quality content, you know, for yourself, if you're into the whole idea of doing whatever it is I'm doing. It kind of just like has a pretty good aspect, and it won't cost you that much money in the beginning of the game to make a suppressed weapon. So if you find a Bison PP-19, which I think the starting class or the default class, like the SWAT class, comes with a Bison PP-19 with uncommon metal scrap. You can get that from scrapping a hammer, I think, or something uncommon. It'd be like maybe pretty decent proficiency machine gun or whatever. Or you can probably save up some money and get an item that pretty much would create uncommon metal scrap. Spend $10,000 in the crafting section of the game, and then from there you pretty much can make the silenced version of the PP-19 submachine gun, which I think only comes with the SWAT team class. Basically the SWAT class is the only one I think that comes with that. Now, for anybody who knows about this game, has ever played it, you played as a soldier in the beginning. It would give you the Scorpion SMG. Originally, you would only get the Scorpion SMG if you were a soldier. Now, the soldier class, due to higher levels of bestiaries and higher proficiency levels of monsters in the game, the soldier class now gets an M16 in the beginning. And I think 200 rounds. I think it starts with an M16 and a combat knife or a Bowie knife. Not really sure about its particular weapon type. I haven't been at like level 1 in forever, so I mean that could have changed. These little houses right here. They're great loot spots. You're just trying to loot. Not so great if you get stuck in this cage and then there's like a massive boss, like a huge titan. Now of course they don't use the term BT anymore, they use the term CT for Charred Titan. In response to the BLM problems that happened in America, they changed it from the Black Titan because of its hardened black skin, because it went through extreme necrosis and horrible advanced reanimation, which is the lore behind the Titan's design, also known as the BT's design. The lore behind its general design is that the Titan had experienced death so painful that when it was already technically dead, by biological terms to humans technically dead, when it died as a regular Titan, it died so horribly that it came back as a much larger, charred variation of it that mutated and somehow became a giant musclehead-bound monster that pretty much destroyed most of what essentially was downtown in this game. Does that make sense? It's a little weird. That's essentially the lore behind the monster, if you were ever wondering. But yeah, that really is the lore behind the whole monsters design. So, you know, if you were ever wondering, how did it come to be that large? How did it get to be so ugly? Well, there you go. Look no further because it's like that for that reason. And pretty much that reason alone. Mhm. Okay. Now, of course, you guys aren't going to see what's going on my monitor, what the actual in-game functions, the menus, and stuff like that. And the reason why is to protect the sensitivity of my account's name, function, etc. Because believe me, anybody in the world who would actually spend real-world money on a game is already well invested into it. It took me a long-ass time to get from point A to point B. With some games, it's the same thing with Fallout. I was too heavily invested in it at one point, and a pretty good chunk of my childhood while I was still young had went down the toilet because of it. I think it was whenever I started playing Fallout New Vegas. I kind of got so sucked into the idea of playing New Vegas that I completely forgot about the outside world. And then there was the Terraria age. That was a year and a half of grinding on PlayStation 3 or whatever. Like nothing else existed. Gonna have to get some stuff out of the dryer in a minute. Whew. It's on 4350, why not? Go down to the rifle ammunition. It's like one of the things we have already sold based on profit margin revenue. Go ahead and do that. Go back into the marketplace and sell these, what is it, 10 gauge shotgun shells. $42,850. Not bad. Anyways, I'll be back, guys. I gotta get some crap out of the dryer. Okay, I'm back. I literally had to go do some stuff. It was a little bit of a short one, but it shouldn't be that much of a problem. I doubt it'll be. Let's see what's sold. Yep, 10 gauge sold right away. People really need them. Oh man. Now, if you're wondering why I'm tired, it's mostly because I likely am going through a bit of, well, caffeine withdrawal or just total abundant lack of food in my stomach since I keep forgetting to eat stuff. But now that the game started back up, I can get on with my life. Head on down to whatever that is down there. It says something, Mercy of All End, or whatever it was called. Gotta go secure whatever it is Donkey Boy told me we'll get. So, off to whatever his location he gave me. That's weird, that dude running into me actually lagged me for a second. Okay. Rabbits. Langston Hunt or East Bow Hunt? No. Only at North Langton. Bit of a walk to get to this next objective, but overall should be manageable. Okay, 2 blocks. So there's some kind of big-headed boss here. There is, I'll evacuate the block. Big head bricks. kind of weapon this dude's firing off. It seems to be a shotgun, what it sounds like. But if he wants to stay in that block, he can. Got a bunch of other crap to do. One more block over. God damn it. Now, if you want to play a game that's sort of graphically demanding, or I guess it is graphically demanding considering how it was originally, then you could also try your hat playing Dead Frontier 2. You'll see some of this bestiary you see here in Dead Frontier 2. Wants to do eliminate infected scientists. Now, you know the odds of one of these dudes being an infected scientist? An infected scientist will randomly appear. It's like a dime a dozen. All I'm supposed to do is put them down. Probably get away from some of these people. They might get me killed. I think they could be located in here. Called Science. Seriously, these leapers can go down and cause problems. By the way, this is a mass graveyard. We're planning on charring these bodies like you see in the middle. Back during the early days of the infection. People were identified as infected individuals. The infected were executed and brought here. And mass quantities of bodies were burned as a way of handling infectious disease. The CDC also runs this protocol to prevent real viral infection or cause the spread of disease that is very potent. People who are likely infected with it, especially go out of control, there's no actual cure for it, they'll begin the mass grave procedure to prevent it from spreading to anybody else. Now, a little fact you should know, in this game running into a pile of bodies actually does slow you down. Bastards are scientists, but whatever the case be, at least you'll be here roughly like maybe half an hour shooting at them. Because any one of these guys walking around. The grind type. Oh, whatever it is. Oh, whatever it is. Single player. This is my best chance to try a single player. This guy isn't available, like, isn't popping up. Try to identify it from single player. Looks like the evidence indicates the mission is not executed properly. This could be an endless grind for me. With no real value or profit coming into the end of this margin. I'm going to try to execute one more thing and see if this will fix it. Where is it? Here we go. Disconnecting from the server in order to initiate single player mode to see if the mission initiates correctly. Of course, this will put me in a different instance compared to the other guy. Disconnecting from the multiplayer server. I'm gonna kill quite a few hundred of these guys and see if this loser spawns in. Okay. Try to debug it. It's an interrable building. Okay, this is an interrable building. I'm gonna loot it and get my health up for free, so I don't have to use any of my major medicines. How about that, guys? You want to play The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask? Yeah, I'm gonna Majora's Mask. Majora's. Gonna eat some grub. Shoot some zombies and try to get some health. People don't like you when you call them zombies. They say you're gonna arouse the Argo. It is called Argo, so they're a lot different. It does separate them from zombies, but these are technically mutant creatures that are bioweapon experiments, or hazardous bio creatures. or result of a drug that was supposed to help cure cancer or whatever. Ended up having terrible side effects to the general public, so then they ended up keeping those people who got sick after having the remedy applied because they needed the money or whatever, or for whatever reason. And then these losers ended up transforming into the undead. Eventually, these losers overran the security teams of Sekronom Bunker and as many spread out outposts for biological testing for a cure for cancer, which eventually led to its successors and its downfall. By the time Sekronom had realized that the situation was already out of control because the public had fought so hard to get the people who were trapped at the Sekronom facilities and they weren't releasing them because of the adverse side effects that was happening with them, the police got involved, setting thousands of people free into the general public, who then later butchered their families in their sleep, resulting in their family members and even children, which are not in this particular game, but in Dead from 2, children are present in the game. And those children have become neurotonin-infected viruses, or disease-carrying virus holders. And they are plagued with the neurotonin virus, which is literally a product of it. Neurotonin, a specific type of neurotype applicatable medicine, is designed to fight cancer, which ended up causing, well, what you see here. There's like a lot of lore that goes behind it, and not a lot of people know that. There is a lot of lore that does go behind it. Whatever the case is, definitely something going on. I did manage to get 1 of 10, but that's like a rare number that I seem to be hitting. So somehow I managed to get 1 of 10 scientists. Means amongst all these losers, 1 of 10 scientists in the group of all of them. What happened during the shootout earlier? Remember I initiated single player mode match. I'm really surprised I'm even awake, but right now I just feel great. Just to be honest with some of you, I actually feel drained with the lack of food. I have a bit of cramps today, but I think it's because of overconsumption of coffee as well. not really the religious type, but sometimes I can see messages. Just like here. I have my brain tells me to type it out, put it on Twitter. There's a message in my brain. It's like being a part of electronics. Computer. No. I thought that was one of those guys. Just jack off. Yeah, it's interesting. I haven't been seeing those big guys here with floats, which I think are the size here, now that I think about it. The one out of reviewing the floats with scientists. I noticed I'm getting ramblers, long arms, and tendrils, but I'm not getting floats. Very low floats. I'm getting a lot of tendril, long arms, leapers, spiders, and sirens, but not a single blows. So I think I'm supposed to be looking for blows. Alright, let's go around the block a little bit. I have to change my attitude shape. There we go. I think the scientists became loads because they're the lowest spawning in quality item. These guys aren't spawning in. Looks like it's spawn over there to 0. Because they themselves are like the scientists. Don't get me wrong, it's getting very hard to actually stay awake. Hold on a second. Let me get something to drink. Okay, so I've killed quite a few of them. Here's another scientist. There's another scientist. Yeah, single player mode definitely was a way to fix it. So what happens is that I gotta travel fast enough in order to avoid the Argo. Basically these guys. And I gotta travel near the neighborhood area in order to get the scientists to spawn in. Because they won't spawn in if I don't travel fast enough to get rid of the Argo from the level. And the place where they won't spawn in is by the house. Okay, so that solves the Argo problem. So I technically have to move around a little bit in order to get these dirty bastards to spawn in. Alongside the houses in the four-way intersection, basically. I'm bound to be one of these many losers like this guy running around. Alright, there you go, 10 losers. A little bit of a perk boost now. Single player was definitely the way of handling the situation. I'm gonna tell them go single player mode. SP mode. Pretty much done with the mission, so all I gotta do is head back to the building and do that. Then I'm gonna fix up my health, spawn back into the game. Probably trash this helmet since I don't really need it. Only help those who help themselves. look, there's some bandits over here. Nope, I'll leave that right there. In case I need to snipe these bandits. Keep in mind that bandits are kind of the only way to get major parts of equipment too. I need to switch out some gear real quick. I have to use some real health, unfortunately. Oh, and then a bunch of them out of Argo sitting around to shoot these guys. While still maintaining my health safety. Getting rid of the Grenader would definitely make it a little easier to handle business. What the hell is that turret? Keep in mind, you only get 1 hour to take out bandits. So if you don't kill them within that hour, you're just going to get the XP and that's about it. I really want to avoid as much damage as possible. And since these guys got a loot spot right next to them, I can use it for my tactical advantage. Trust me when I say this, it's better to just keep it at yourself at a distance. I try to at least eliminate one of them. The problem is there's going to be a lot of sirens. That's one of the major issues, is that there's going to be a lot of sirens every time there's bandits. Nah, I'm not screwing around with them. Not worth my time. catch me. Wish I could take on those bandits, but they're in a too heavily overpopulated area. Now there is a Discord for this particular type of thing about where you can find bandits on the map. Sakronon Bunker. Now bandits are the only way to get blueprints, schematics, and special weapon parts in this game. You can loot them in order to get other stuff, including master crafted things and stuff like that. Now, since I've been playing this game for an extensively large amount of time, this is probably my only profile in any existence that has ever done anything weird. But when I was younger and I started playing this game when I was near Dog Stockade, before I discovered Precinct 13 and all that stuff, I remember I was on a small loot run when I was younger. Now, people are going to say what I'm telling you here isn't canon or it's not real, and that I'm bullshitting. But there are kids who come into this game and know absolutely fucking nothing about this game. And I've always found weird bugs in this game every now and then. Of course, I was never really compensated for it because the game had just barely started out. That's kind of how I got to know Neil Yates and a bit of his community, including a lot of his original moderators. People who worked for him. Now, personally, from speaking from my own intelligence and knowledge entirely involved in this game as a whole, when I was younger, I legitimately have looted 13 credits before. I had no idea how it happened. I hadn't the slightest clue. But after a little while, I had noticed that people, and I'll quote unquote tell you this, credits are not supposed to be lootable in the game, but for some reason credits became lootable at one point in the game. This was in the early times, when the northeastern end zone and the southeastern end zone were not the zones you know today in the game. This is like rolling back a few updates. Quite a few updates, more specifically. This is back when it was still browser friendly, the game. So, it was a little weird, but I've looted 13 credits before, and this was like a long time ago. It was due to a bug in a recent update in their software, which made them apparently available to loot. There were some players who were mad at me because I came forward and told them that I looted some credits. They didn't believe me, and then I told them, you can check my account. There's no credit purchases, no proof that I went through the gold shop, got gold membership or anything. Then they asked me where that I found them, and I told them at what block specifically, and it was literally like 6 or 7 blocks down. I was at a junkyard, and I remember I was like having a siren, which I thought was another NPC player or something like that. Because, you know, I was stupid. I didn't know. I didn't really honestly know. I was pretty stupid. And I said, this weird lady keeps traveling around in circles around me. And they're like, go ahead, keep staying there. Then apparently these other players knew exactly who this individual was or what this individual was doing, as they call it. And it was just super weird. Because I had no idea what a siren was. So I kept wondering why all these zombies kept spawning in and kept blowing out and kept just blobbing out of nowhere. And I said, I keep trying to help this person, but they don't want no help. It said to go over here and do something or whatever, because somebody had told me that whenever I was screwing around in the forums. Again, not so smart when I was younger, so, you know, kind of tells you exactly where I was at with the game in the beginning years when I started playing it. I immediately ran from Nastia's holdout, I think level 7, and ran all the way to Dog Stockade because people were telling me it's an easy way to level up and you can get missions done faster. No, it was not an easy way to level up. No, it was not easy to get from point A to point B. I kept getting my ass beat up by freaking Titans and stuff like that, and I kept running into burning zombies. It was pretty rough. But what I'm getting at is that genuinely I just kept getting beat up by the Bestiary and the Argo because I wasn't fast enough. I didn't have enough speed basically to make the trek, or basically the sprint. If I had saved up my sprint to 100% and I go running as fast as I can do whatever. That was pretty good. So I put all of my points, and I think it's only on this profile or on my not most recent, but in my much older profiles, I had put a lot of points into my sprint at one point when I was leveling up so that I can keep up with the original squad, Neil Yates and whatever, and them when they took off to go explore the north and southeastern end zones. I wasn't a high enough level to actually make the cut, but I still followed them and continued to follow them as far as I could go. It was also the first time I ever encountered a horrible monster that I didn't know what it was at the time. I managed to outrun it and literally hide inside of the nearest building. Would I say it's one of my proudest moments? The answer is an astounding no. I was literally hiding there. There was like nothing for me to do. And that was kind of like the whole breakdown. There was nothing for me to do, and there was nothing I could do. Legitimately couldn't do it because I didn't have the speed and I didn't have the sprint. After that, I kind of was just wandering around for a while. Eventually I bumped back into the group, but it was just Neil Yates by himself. They all came back looking for me apparently in different blocks, and I had no clue. I was kind of just wandering around like a retard. I had no clue they went back to go look for me after they lost me. So I just kept roaming around like a moron. It was funny for a little while. Neil Yates is the one who found me in a building because I had encountered the monster that they were looking for that they were trying to find. And I managed to encounter the monster before them, and I landed some points of damage onto it. Imagine shooting at it with an MP5. Hold on. Sounds like the cops are here. I'm not entirely sure though. Okay, everything's in the clear, guys. Nothing big. Just a guy trying to sell some... I forgot what he was selling. What was it called again? He was selling something. Oh, by the way, this is the thing you want to build. It's called the Blackout B19. It's the Bison PP19. Not entirely sure what I can do, but not sure I even want to show my desktop either. I guess I can put up the wiki page and put the link right there. Should be the weapons link, and you'll be looking under submachine guns. So hold on while I go to YouTube, and then I go over here, then I go to my channel. One sec. Okay, I muted it from my browser so it doesn't capture any of the audio. And then I need to find something that's going to create uncommon metal scrap. So we're going to look up a melee weapon that'll probably be relatively short. Battle axe will create uncommon metal scrap for 20,000. Well, we'll see which melee weapon produces uncommon metal scrap in the scrapping. Low-level weapons like between 5 and 10 I don't think produce any kind of scrap when scrapped. They gotta be above that. Dismantle, dismantle, metal scrap, wooden planks, metal scrap, metal scrap, metal scrap. The level 50 creates wooden planks, metal scrap. So a wood axe would create uncommon metal scrap. Then you got the Dilmar BS. I remember people used to do that. Somebody gave me a God-crafted Dilmar PS. It was funny. Echo CS20V. I think it's a small gas powered chainsaw. Then you got the Echo 100 or 150 and it's a hedge trimmer. Let's see. I had a Goretooth 44G. I think I still have it sitting around somewhere. 12,498 for a grizzly knife. I think the wood axe is going to give me slightly better. You got the K9 freaking military knife. That one's a melee weapon too. A lumberjack G6. Machete, nope. Penknife, piercer. Everybody wants a piercer. Dude's saving a piercer. Saving up for the piercer. I remember he was telling me that. Let's see. Wood axe. Apparently a shovel goes for uncommon metal scrap. And 2 planks of wood. And we'll get the K9 military knife because why not? It's one of the most common military weapons or knives that are out there. Okay, now we have uncommon metal scrap times 2 weapons, and then we'll craft the chainsaw, the Tyrant T220, a 90 melee skill chainsaw. Now, I don't know if the Tyrant T220 does a lot of damage, so keep that in mind. I used to keep all the melee weapons all together, which also included the chainsaws page, but then the page was cut out entirely and copy and pasted into its own section under crowd control weapon. So the Eco CS20V, meaning 20 volt, is an electric chainsaw. just like its 150 version is probably an electric hedge trimmer. Then you got the metal bar and ECH or Echo HC150, which is required to make the Riptide Marine Pro, which is a chainsaw with a little shark head. The Delmar PS, the makeshift chainsaw, requires wooden planks and a metal bar. The makeshift chainsaw does more damage than the Delmar PS. Less damage per second, but you have to have the chainsaw in constant contact with your enemy. Lumberjack G6, Rowan Pro, uncommon metal scrap. Steel MS800 does 33.4 damage and 104.01 damage for a critical. Then the Tyrant T220, 154.2 points of damage and 36.7 points of damage. Crafting cost is 10,000, not 1,000. That needs to be updated. Grinder, Survivor's Chainsaw. It's actually a better version of the Grinder. Originally the Grinder used to be like the ultimate weapon. It even has its own backstory. It says no one really knows where this beast came from. Close inspection by experienced Outpost Mechanics has shown that it has an experimental high-powered engine that runs all the souls of slain enemies. Or so the rumor says. A chain fitted with razor-sharp diamond-edged teeth and the word Ash emblazoned on the side. Doesn't say embezzled, or says emblazoned on the sides of flaming crimson letters. It's a very powerful weapon, and only someone who has considerable experience in melee weapons and strength to keep this monster in check can effectively use it in combat. Personally, the Grinder was actually the top-notch weapon for a while. Then it came up with the Dusk Saw, and then the Steel 090, also known as Steel 090, which is a chainsaw from Russia. The Ripsaw G12, which is actually a concrete saw with a lot of its safety features removed. Then you got the Mutilator G12, which can only be found in the southeastern end zone. Does 80.1 default points of damage, 12 damage with a critical of 60, and a critical base damage of 336.03. The southeastern end zone weapons can only be looted in the southeastern end zone. The Buzzblade RN8, I used to have that too. I have no idea what happened to it, but at one point the total market had crashed in the game, and the Buzzblade RN8 went pretty much into the trash, essentially. Like, weapon-wise, it wasn't that great, according to people. It was only for like 15 extra points in total DPS. Then the Goretooth 44G, which essentially is a chainsaw sword, had came out into the game. Cool for its aesthetics, which I still have one. Cool for its aesthetics, it's pretty cool, but it's now a collector. And then people were like, the Grinder X3, people complained about that one quite a bit because it was a little bit ridiculous, and it was a limited edition item. I also had one of those. Quite a bit expensive, but it was just ridiculous. The Grinder X3, limited edition. People were complaining about its DPS and that it wasn't that great. It's a chainsaw. What are you expecting? You have to have contact with the enemy to really deal some real damage. Then the Sharktooth Ripper came out. People were happy to get it. And you can still get the Sharktooth Ripper. You just got to go to the southeastern end zone to be a gold member. Or you can be crafted by obtaining materials from the southeast end zone and killing Devil Hounds, which are kind of hard to kill, so I'm going to let you know now. Without a speed boost and a Devil Hound in one block and a Devil Hound in another block, you're going to have trouble looting the SEZ. I forgot what NT stands for, but it's some kind of shop. The Butcher Saw, you can craft that with 2 pig skins, 1 Butcher Saw pole, Butcher Saw engine, Butcher Saw blade, and 5 Halloween candy. Doesn't do as much as the Sharktooth Ripper, because that one has way more damage, and the Dusk Saw does more damage. Oh, no, the Dusk Saw and the Butcher Saw are exactly the same in DPS. Hair Splitter, that one was a limited edition chainsaw that could be bought as well. the Dawn saw. You need an X-Dusk saw if you want to get that. In order to get the X-Dusk shop, you have to be, I think, level 420 or 415. Then you got the really rare, the Flesh Reaver, which is the highest DPS chainsaw in the game and can be looted in Raven Ridge by gold members. It can be crafted by obtaining the materials from Raven Ridge and killing Devil Hounds. 10 Devil Hearts, 1 experimental parts, 1 Sharktooth Ripper, 1 Flesh Reaver blueprint, player level 120 and above, and 5 rare metal bars. I'm in possession of 3, and that's pretty hard to come by, because it requires level 120 weapons in order to scrap it for rare metal scrap or bars, depending on what it is you're destroying. Now, what was I going to do? Oh yeah, I was going to put the link so you could look at some of the weapons yourself if you ever wanted to play the game. And that'll be the link right there if you want to take a look at some of the weapons inside the game. Quite a few of them are in the game, and I'm not sure about licensing or legitimacy functions, but quite a few of them are just in the game for whatever reason that the staff of Dead Frontier decided to put them in the game for. So if you're going to ask me, oh, well, I don't feel like they should have the right to put this one in the game, you should be pretty satisfied that they're getting a little bit versatile with the weaponry. Because, I mean, they could have left it completely empty. This game could have been bare in stock for the rest of its life. Like, for real. This game could have been legitimately stock the rest of its goddamn life. And you probably would have never have known that this game was cool. The craftable weapons deal way more damage than their stock counterparts, so I'll tell you that much. The MP5, you should store that one in a storage. You get 5 free slots and whatever. If you get the Bison PP19, if you choose the SWAT team class, you'll start off with that weapon. And the upside of it is that it's very beneficial when you really break it down. Mostly because once you not mastercraft it, but spend like 10k to upgrade it to the freaking blackout version of it, it's definitely going to be very worth it. And that'd be like the best thing I can tell you right there. It's going to be worth it. And a Tyrant T220 goes for 47,000. Let's take a look at that yard price for the Tyrant T220. 12,200. Yeah, it makes about sense. Let's go to that marketplace. We're going to put it for 40k. Because I'm not going to charge anybody more than 40k for that. I'm going to freaking knock off a huge chunk. I always have to pay more than 40,000 for that, and mostly because I believe it's a fair price. I went through the process of buying some items and scrapping it. And I'm going to tell you 2 things. Buying items in the game and scrapping them cost quite a bit of money. It can cost you roughly, and I'm going to tell you this, roughly anywhere between $25,000 and $7,000. So $7,000 and $25,000 would be the total rough estimated price you'd be comping out if you were to really go through the process of like doing all this crap. Which is one of the main reasons why I tell you guys. Should be fully aware of that stuff. A lot of stuff requires uncommon metal, uncommon stuff. It's like up and down. That's the best thing I can describe. It's up and down. I think I completed the challenge or did whatever it was called. I got to loot 1 of 3 weapons, and it gives me $21,000 cash. Then you got the Oriental Fanatic, loot some samurai swords, nodachis, katanas, and wakizashis, and everything's cool. Inventory and equipment. This isn't it that I'm looking for. Messages, profile. The collection book is what I'm looking for. Then what I do is click Edit Collection Book. This will be adding Crushing Defeat to your collection book, and there will be a charge of $200 to take the item out. Confirm. If I add this, there will be a charge of $230,000, $230,600 to take it out of my collection book if I put in a level 120 weapon. For a level 70 weapon is $14,800. This K9 will cost $14,000 to take out of the collections book. A lot of the weapons I technically do have on hand that I don't need, which also includes resources, medicals, boosts, miscellaneous, implants, because you got pinned, pistols, rifles, shotgun, order, like I'm not going to order any of these. Pistols, shotguns, rifles, machine guns, explosives, implants, backpacks, miscellaneous, boosts, like it even tells you right here. Second arm keycard, rusty key, wooden planks, nails, claw hammer, barricade kit, repair kit, which you can apparently make, small security box, medium, large, and XL. XL cost actually real money, but the large security box is free, but I think the XL actually costs credits. Tattered pages, there's like a lot of stuff. Batteries, radios, speed boosts, adrenaline boosts. And then gold membership ticket. That one actually will cost you roughly, I think it's 50 mil. If you were to buy the non-transferable gold membership ticket, it's going to cost you a freaking arm and a leg just to replace that ticket. And it will probably cost you some credits to probably take it out instead of actual money. It'll probably cost you credits, so some of these items might not be removable. But since I got a set of 400 grenades and it's under ammunition, let's go ahead and put these grenades in here. Why not? I got 400 rounds, it's going to cost me a full charge of grenades anyways. I do want to clear out my storage, so I'm going to put one of at least each in there, except for the rare metals. So I'm going to put that one in there. This piece. I'm not putting in any of those blueprints. But quite a few of these items that I do have that I don't want to use are probably going to go in there. Just remember, it might charge you more if you add in any master crafted material. Now to go back into my inventory and equipment because it's like that. Is it this one? No, it's my profile, I think. Collections book. I'm going to edit it and I'm going to start dropping in some resources. Because I want to make some storage space, so I don't mind spending a bit of money. Depending on how much of what you have in like your collections book, you're going to spend a fortune to get it out. This item is already in the book, 50 caliber ammo. Whatever you put inside the book goes in here. I got the ammunition, like if I can do withdraws, it's like storing up bullets. But you can only store one stack of each ammo. So if I order all 1074, by clicking over here and I do 1074, then I click enter. It shows 1074. It pretty much tells you whatever. It'll cost me $4,296 to get 1074 rounds of my own 50 cal ammo out. So it's kind of expensive. Just like if I do that, 3,500, it's like a little bit redundant. But there is a max capacity of whatever you can shove in there. Gracefully speaking, it is a bit redundant how it is organized, but at least it's organized because it could be completely out of whack. So I'm just going to drop some more stuff in there, including this gasoline, since I really don't have a use for it either. I don't know what the collections book does, but I'm pretty sure if you collect enough crap and enough firearms or something, there's some kind of hidden secret behind it. But don't quote me on that because I really honestly wouldn't know either. Could look it up. Let's see what it's for. No, it's not listed here on the Wikipedia, so I wonder what the collections book really is for. Or do you just do it so you can store items and weapons like an extra pocket or whatever? It'll cost you a fortune to get it out, but it'll probably be worth it. If you think about it in the long run, you could pile in a lot of heavily expensive weapons that you need to like store, but you don't have storage in your like general stuff, so you can store all these massive amount of guns and kind of just like flip them all later. I'm not entirely sure if I'll make this a stream any further or if I'm going to continue with it. I need to get some fresh air. I hope you guys take care and have a great night. Thanks for tuning in, for anybody who did tune in. And sorry I can't really show you what I'm doing with my desktop because of security reasons. I don't need my account getting stolen because I've already invested money into this game and I'm not trying to lose this account. Somebody has already tried stealing it a few years ago and didn't work out too well from them. Well, for them, considering the amount that was already put into it. And it happened right after I did two-step authentication. If anything offers you a two-step authentication, I wouldn't take it because odds are you're going to get screwed on that part. But thanks for tuning in, guys. You guys have a great night. Don't forget to smash that like button if you like what I was doing. I gotta take a break.